All right, let's get my guest on the call today, Mr. Mark Aceta. Guys, National Convention was insane. Mark was a huge driving force, helping make sure that convention was the most content-heavy convention we have ever had. The feedback has been unanimous. Everybody says the same thing. That was the best convention we've ever had. I'm saying it's the best convention we've ever had, and I've been at 21 years worth of them. Guys, Mark helped make that happen. He's helping make the event in Reno in the summer. The family reunion is going to help make it the next best convention ever. I'm telling you, I know where we're headed. I love the influence he's having. I love the help. And Mark, I want to tell you personally, one thing you shared with me when we were talking about national convention and talking about my talks for convention, that lens you gave me, brother, that has helped me in so many ways, just outside of the talks I gave at National Convention. That lens, when you said, you need to look at this talk like it's the only talk your child is going to ever get a chance to hear, and they need to know everything in this one talk on how to be successful at this. That was such an awesome lens. I had never looked at things through that lens. So Mark, I appreciate that, brother. But let's go ahead and get you on the call.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate your kind words, Stephen. Let me get my lighting good here. So yeah, so first of all, I'm excited seeing all the leaderboards. I get fired up about competition, love seeing people win and making lots of money. So again, I know the first thing I want to state is it's an honor just to be a part of what you guys are doing. It's an honor to be invited to be a part of this meeting. Clearly, you have people who really are doing great already. So I'm just helping bring a little bit something to the table. Really, there's two things that Andy wanted me to bring in. Number one is some more skills on recruiting and building a team. And the second thing is, of course, the actual events themselves. And I'm very honored to hear that everyone unanimously feels that was such a great convention. And, you know, like anything else, there's a right way and a wrong way to do anything, or shall I say, there's a good way or a great way to do anything. And while you guys have been great at doing what you're doing, I've just been studying events, you know, how they flow, you know, what's the right frequency of events throughout the course of the year, and not just events as they pertain to building a team, because, you know, what we don't want to do, you know, and I think one of the reasons why some people are not actively building teams the way they probably should be is if you got a bunch of people on your team and there's no system in place to keep them going and to keep them motivated and to answer their questions and to train them, then a lot of times you end up sort of becoming a babysitter in a way, and you really actually become less productive with your selling because you don't have enough time to do the work you need to do on your own selling because you're busy trying to make sure the people on your team aren't quitting. And that's just not the way to do it. You know what I mean? So again, I shared a bunch of stuff at NACOM. Really, honestly, what I shared with you at NACOM is like it's maybe 1% of what I'm going to be sharing with you as time goes by. And what I'm most excited about is I'm going to be working with people like Steve and Mark and any of the leaders that I possibly can across the nation to understand more and more and more. And I promise you, what we're going to do is develop a very simple turnkey system where when you get someone started, and I'll go back to what he just said, what Stephen said, if that wasn't crystal clear, when I was helping folks put their talks together, I was saying, imagine, because this was me 30 something years ago at a seminar. I had a sponsor who brought me in and quit. So I was orphaned. I was by myself. And I've been to training events where all people do is motivate you, you know, and, you know, they motivate the heck out of you, but they don't teach you anything. So if I'd have gone to that one event, and that was the only event I'd ever be at, and I just got hyped, if you will, then how could I possibly end up being successful long term? Because at some point, you need to know how to use the scalpel if you're going to be a doctor. At some point, you need to know how to drive a car as opposed to just being excited about driving a car. So that's really, you know, what happened to me at my first event. And that's when I became a trainer. I always thought of me at that first event. And then I go a step further and I think, like, if my kids, I have two fully grown daughters, if they wanted to do this business, what would I expect a trainer to deliver to them? So that's sort of, you know, what we're going to be doing. We're going to be giving you hard hitting information that works. And I'm talking now about putting together a simple system. And we're going to put together 4 steps, 5 steps of what you do with a brand new agent when you get them started, you know, from the time they get started to when they get licensed and we're out there selling actual policies. And again, it's just going to be there. And if some group, some agency is doing it a different way, that'll be fine. They can do whatever they're doing. We're always going to edify the leader who's doing what they're doing. But if for most people who don't have a system that's really duplicating, then this is going to be super hot. And I promise you, by the time we get to family reunion, that's what we're going to be delivering. That's what I'm going to be talking about, is how do you get a new person started? Because I got to tell you, the vast majority of people who start in any performance driven, whether it be real estate, whether it be insurance, whether it be car sales, financial services, the vast majority of the people quit fast. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're getting as many people through that first rough period, through the rapids, if you will, because once you get through the rapids, I mean, and I could go to my relationship I have with Nick Greco, and I'm definitely spending a lot of time talking to Nick. And, you know, he was explaining that his first couple of weeks, if it hadn't been for Mark Hutch being on every call with him and helping him through everything, there's no way he would have made it. But now he's so confident that he can go out and do this pretty much on his own, even if he never saw Mark again. Now, of course, he wants to see Mark again. There's going to be times he's going to rely on Mark because he's going to come across something he's never seen before. But in general, what I'm getting to is his confidence. He's through those rapids. There's no way Nick's going away now. He's in, he's on it, and he's not going away. That's what I want to do for your teams, is dramatically increase the amount of people who get through the rapids. So you have a solid, I mean, a rock solid residual income. And we all know what the real goal here is. And let me pause and say, look, if all y'all just want to sell, good. I'll be your biggest cheerleader. And I will dig back into my archives of when I used to sit across the table from people 35, 37 years ago, and I sold them a set of cookware that cost $2,000 then, cost $8,000 now. I know how to close a sale. Believe me when I tell you, I got real good at that. But so we're not going to ignore selling. We have a lot of fun stuff, you know, just at NatCon, one-on-one conversations, getting to meet people. I shared a few things about closing a sale, subtle things. But man, those, when you're good and you learn one little subtle thing, that can go from good to great in a heartbeat. So we're going to do that. We're going to help people be better salespeople. But what my focus will be when I'm on stage is showing you how to bring people in and keep them in, and not just keep them in, get them to grow. And what the events are going to really do for you are really, here's the thing, and I want you to understand, you know that tomorrow the price goes from $199, I think it's going to $399. So that's a big jump. So we want to get as many people locked in as we can. So I want you to hear this as you're spending the rest of today promoting for this event, because we all know you're obviously going to have a much better chance of getting people to go for $199 to $399. So here's what this event does. So it does 3 things to me. There's 3 people leave the event. Any of the events are going to do in 3 different ways. Number 1, they're going to leave exactly the same way they came in, meaning the event did virtually nothing for them. You know why? Because I don't know a trainer on earth. I talk about the greatest trainers, the late Zig Ziglar, the late Jim Rohn, you know, the guy who started Werner Erhard, Tony Robbins. We can't like lay hands on people, go humu humu, nuku nuku, apu and all of a sudden someone transforms from a lazy whatever into a great producer. It doesn't work that way. So about 25, 30% of people are going to come and go. They're going to go to one event and that's it. They're really not going to stick at all, which is what's going to happen if they don't go to an event. Okay, the second group, the big group, and if that first group is 30%, let's call this next group 68%, are people that are going to go to the event, they're going to learn some cool stuff, They're going to go back and implement it. They're going to be around the team. They're going to be around the family, and they're going to have fun, and they're going to get more confident. They're going to borrow the speakers who are on stage. They're going to borrow your confidence. They're going to get better, but it's going to be incremental. They're not going to go from, making 150,000 a year to making 800,000 a year, but they're going to go maybe from 150 to 180, 150 to 200. Maybe they're going to go from 40 to 80. Our goal, that's where we're really aiming the main message at those people. And I'll give you a great example of how this works. Well, let me tell you the third thing. Third thing to happen. So the first thing is no impact. Second thing is people get better and they get more inspired, and they'll definitely keep going until the next event. And then the third person is the one who just goes, oh my, game over. Like they didn't really understand what was going on. And now they really understand, because again, when they get to look at the Megan Woods or the people that are making the most money, the big checks, when they get to see Fitz and the people that are already partners, those are the people that are going to walk out of their first event and go, I'm going to be a partner. Done deal. I'm going to be a partner. Now, how many people would you like to have on your team come July who have never been to an event, who walk out of the event and go, that's it, I'm going to be a partner? I mean, you know what I mean? Now, think about it. It's only going to be 1 or 2% of the people. So if you bring 5 people to the event, what are the odds that one of them is going to leave there going, man, I'm going to be a partner? The odds are they're going to be in one of those 2 other groups. It's not going to do anything to them, or it's going to teach them something, make them a little bit better. But if you have 10 people there, you have a better chance. If you have 20 people there, you have a much better chance. If you have 100 people there, the odds are in your favor. And we always want to get the odds in our favor. That's what Las Vegas is all about. I love people who go to Las Vegas and they look at those buildings cost billions of dollars, and they go there and think they're going to win. Have you ever flown into Las Vegas? People are all jacked up. And then have you ever flown out of Las Vegas? People going home, they're like returning from a funeral, because the odds are not in their favor. People lose their money in Vegas because the odds are in the house's favor. We need to make the odds in our favor. And maybe you know that already, but I'm talking not from a selling perspective, from a recruiting perspective. So get a bunch of people on your team to the event. Worst comes to, and here's the thing, you're going, well, what about that? The people I get to the event that it does nothing for them. Like it does nothing. That's a good thing, because the more people get on your team, the more you need to start discerning who should I be working with. And that's where the expression I used at the event, don't work where you're needed, work where you're deserved. And you've got to do this, guys. If someone goes to the family reunion and they leave that event and they're not motivated at all, their behavior doesn't change at all, that's just a simple way to go, okay, this is not going to be my next superstar. Okay, again, Tom Brady, we all know Tom Brady is probably retiring, I think. I don't know if it's official yet, but he couldn't even start in college, for God's sakes. He was behind the guy named Drew Henson, got to the pros, he was a backup. But he kept getting better, and he kept getting better, and he kept working on himself. So that's what's going to happen to a lot of people. They're not going to be superstars yet. You got to get them to the event. And for most of them, it'll take not 1 event, not 2 events, not 5 events. How many times did you go to algebra class before you took the final? Did you go to the first class and go, okay, give me the final? Why are you going to another event? Because there's so much to learn. For me to transfer everything I know about recruiting and building a team to your head, you're going to have to come to at least 10 or 15 events, because it's going to take that long to download all the information. So again, I want to just now get you to understand, if you bring people, whether it be NatCom, family reunion, or any other event we do in the future, here's what will happen. Your people are going to become easier to work with. A good friend of mine used to literally sit down when we recruited someone and tell them, your job is to be a pleasure for me to work with. Imagine that. But he said it so nicely. Your job, new person, new agent, is to be a pleasure for me to work with. So, Zig Ziglar teaches this. We train people how to treat us. So there's so much. I can't do it all in one Zoom. I'm just saying, I'm excited about downloading all this information, because what you guys are already doing, looking at just this week's leaderboard, you're already a group of badasses. But man, when you take in all this information, and when the right amount of people, just a handful of you, figure out how to really use this event system, oh my gosh, it's going to be lights out. I truly will be astonished if you don't 10x or 20x what you're doing right now. So again, we're coming up to the deadline. It's tonight, midnight. Listen to me. We're not extending it. I swear to you, we're not extending it. This is no hocus pocus. We're not going to do things that way. Tonight at midnight, the price goes up to $3.99. So if you get some extra tickets, understand what a hero you're going to be. Tomorrow, when someone wants to join, they can go to the website for $3.99, or you could sell to them for $1.99. Heck, if you want to make it profitable, you could sell it to them for $2.99. Put a couple bucks in your pocket and still be a hero, because $2.99 last time I checked was less than $3.99. So we're excited. I just promise you that that first event, I want you to see a little bit about what was possible, but the next one, with 5.5 months to prepare for it, is going to be so dialed in. It's going to be significantly better. And I know this last one you're all saying was the best one ever. I'm grateful to hear that. But the next one is going to be, oh my gosh. So truly, I know you got to sell stuff. I understand that. I know you got to stay on that leaderboard. I get it. Please dedicate the rest of today and tonight to getting everyone you can. And again, when it comes to selling insurance, you're selling it. When it comes to this event, you're selling it. If someone hasn't been to one of the new events, if they did not get the national convention, NatCon, then you need to sell them on getting to this event. It'll be well worth your time. Selling a policy puts a chunk of money in your pocket right now. Selling the right person to get to the family you're in could give you long-term so much more money than you could possibly make sending any one policy. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Again, it's an honor to be on here. I'm having a lot of fun chatting with Andy. It's a lot of fun. Just getting a chance to know you guys is a lot of fun. Again, I'm so impressed with the talent. Stephen is a beast. I mean, I can't even believe what a great speaker he is, what a great teacher and trainer he is. You're all obviously very blessed to be a part of his team, but it's much bigger than him. As you know, there's just a lot of talents, an all-star team right here, just this one group. And when we look at the whole alliance, I mean, again, I'm excited. I'm very excited. 12 and 24 months from right now, it's going to be so different. And when I say different, I mean way better different. So I'm looking forward to the day that we're going to put arenas and then eventually stadiums full of people. Now, that might sound crazy to you, but been there, done that. I know how to do it. And having the talent that you've already amassed with the master plan behind it, wow, it's going to be great. So thanks for letting me be a part of this. I'm going to go ahead and turn the call. I think Stephen had to jet, so to speak. He's on a plane, but I believe that we have someone to wrap the call up. Thank you very much. And sell those tickets. Tonight at midnight is the deadline, and it's over. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you, man. How's it going, everybody? Just really quick, Steven is hopping on a plane, so he asked me to jump on here. And yeah, for those of you guys we haven't met, my name is Nick Greco. I'm out of Denver, and just fired up for what we're doing, where we're going. You know, obviously, Mark Aceta, like, he's just the master. He knows how to do this. And so, you know, if I were you, you know, and you're on this call right now, and you don't yet have your ticket, go get your ticket. Like, just go get your ticket. It's $199. The price goes up to $3 or whatever it is, you know, $3.99. The price doubles tonight. So to get your tickets, you go to theallianceevents.com. Theallianceevents.com. Go on there. It's super simple. You hit buy tickets, however many you need to get. You know, so go on there, get your ticket. And if you're like me and you've already got your tickets, here's what I did. I got a bunch extra. And he's like, well, why would I get a whole bunch extra? Well, I got a whole bunch extra because we got like 5 or 6 months until the event. And I plan on growing our agency a whole lot between now and the event. So I don't want those people to have to pay $3.99. All right. So I'm preparing for the growth. I'm preparing for really what I want in my business and what I want in my life. So, you know, if you've already got your ticket, you know, you don't have to. If it's going to stress you out or anything like that, then don't get the extra tickets. But for me personally, I was like, you know what? I got a whole bunch more people that are going to be getting started. They're going to be getting on. So I'm going to go get a whole bunch more tickets. So that way those people can come to the event. It's easier to get a butt to fill the ticket than it is to get a ticket once you get a butt there. So, we got a bunch of extra tickets. So go get your tickets now. TheAllianceEvents.com. They just put it in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having us on. Get your tickets before midnight tonight, and let's go kick some serious butt. Let's have a monster week, y'all.